Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about a man arrested for the 2 Australians and 1 Filipina who were found lifeless in the luxury hotel. 6 bodies including 2 Americans found in a luxury hotel in Bangkok lifeless. Manila named 5th riskiest city for tourists in the world. Alice Guo may have already left the Philippines using her Chinese passport, and Thailand officially launches 5-year digital nomad visa. Let's get into it, starting with the Filipino and US dollar exchange rate. $1 equal to 58.3 pesos. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel or haven't had a chance to subscribe, take a second out of your day, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button so we can reach a wider audience. Let's get into our main story. An update on the story of the Australians that were found lifeless in a hotel room. Sacked hotel worker arrested over the 2 Australians and the Filipina. Apparently, a disgruntled former hotel employee has been arrested over the of 2 Australians and a Filipina in the Philippines, a government official said on Wednesday. The bodies of a man and 2 women were found in a hotel room in Cavita City, south of Manila, on July 10th, with their hands and feet bound and with packaging tape over their mouths. The suspect was identified through CCTV footage as a former employee of the hotel in Tagaytay. A man who had been sacked for stealing had fled to a nearby province and surrendered on Tuesday night and, I quote, admitted to everything. I quote, he said this was his revenge, according to officials. Police told AFP the man had been the utility worker in the hotel when he was fired in March. I quote, based on the information gathered, he was able to go inside by passing through a back window of the room. The Australian victims have been identified by the Philippine authorities as David James Fisk and Lucida Barquin Cortez, while the Filipino victim was Mary Jane Cortez. Wow, incredible. I really find it difficult that a random person would commit such a heinous crime just for revenge on a hotel. I don't see any sense in that. Of course, if anybody has sense, I doubt anybody would be taking other people's lives. But yeah, very sad, I guess, result as of right now. I'm sure more will come from this story as it's still developing. And another sad thing, actually, I got contacted by Mike from Ovis Visa. If you guys don't know, on my main channel, I had Mike. Anyways, apparently, I actually ran into Mr. Fisk at some point at Bo's Coffee. You know, on my main channel, I do so many interviews, sometimes I forget. So kind of a sad story and a reminder that we live in such a small world and life is really precious. Let's move on to our next story. Next major story coming from Bangkok, Thailand. In a bizarre kind of situation, 6 foreigners, 2 being Vietnamese American and the other 4 just being Vietnamese, were found in a luxury hotel lifeless, and the cause of death has not been revealed. Traces of cyanide discovered alongside 6 victims found in Bangkok hotel room, Thai police said. In Bangkok, the chief of the Thai police forensic division said on Wednesday the police have found traces of cyanide in the cups of 6 people found lifeless in central Bangkok luxury hotel. The bodies were found Tuesday in Bangkok in a luxury hotel. Upon checking hotel records, there were no other visitors to the room apart from the 6 that were found. Police said that they had been seen alive when food was delivered to them on Monday. Thai Police Force Forensic Division said that there were traces of cyanide in the cups and thermoses that police found in the room, but initial results of the autopsy are expected on Thursday. Bangkok Police Lieutenant also said that they've identified the people, 2 Vietnamese Americans and 4 Vietnamese nationals, and said there were 3 males and 3 females. The suspected motive for the act may have been about money invested with one by a husband and wife who felt was not being properly used, said the police. Bangkok Deputy Police Chief, citing information obtained from relatives of the victims. Cyanide and poisoning is nothing new with Thailand, especially considering last year when the first ever female serial killer used cyanide to take lives of 15 people. Incredible. Another sad story and a very public one. This is making news all over Southeast Asia, at least, and of course involving American Vietnamese individuals. It's just too much to try to understand people when they commit such crazy acts. I guess desperation leads people doing some desperate things. Next up, a state of calamity declared in Cavita City due to massive fire. The extent of the fire damage in Baguio de la Hacion, Cavita City on July 14th is evident in these before and after photos. The mayor also said he posted this photo on Facebook, stating within just a few hours, the homes of more than 900 families in the area were suddenly destroyed by a massive fire. On Tuesday, a state calamity was declared in the city based on the endorsements and recommendations of the mayor. When I first came to the Philippines, I remember noticing a lot of fires in Cebu. Every time I looked at my condo, not every time, but occasionally I looked at my condominium and would see some kind of not flames, but smoke going on. And eventually I start to realize there's a lot of actual fires going on in the Philippines. Of course, lack of a proper infrastructure like electrical work, the grease fires, and education has a big part to do with it. Not to mention the resources, right? I know the building I was in actually caught on fire. Luckily, I wasn't in there, and they couldn't reach the top of that building just because they didn't have the equipment, the trucks and all that. So, and the roads as well, right? It's still a developing country. So stuff like this happens very commonly. Also, somebody mentioned something else that kind of like made me think. They said that some people do this because they want either the insurance money or they want to get built new homes in that area, or they just want to clear the way for resorts. Now, I hate to think that way about the Philippines, but stuff like that happens everywhere. Every country in the world, you have people, small number of people that will really jeopardize other people's lives and homes just to basically line up their own pockets. I don't know. I would love to know your thoughts. Why do you think there's a high number of house fires in the Philippines? Leave your thoughts down below. I'm sure you guys have a much better understanding than I do, especially those that work in that field or living in the Philippines all their lives. I'd love to know personally, just from curiosity. Next up, Manila was named the 5th riskiest city for tourists among 60 international cities. According to a new Forbes advisory report, I quote, Manila has the highest natural disaster risk with 5th highest personal security risk and the 7th highest health risk, the report stated. And Caracas, Venezuela has been cited the riskiest city for tourists, while Singapore is the safest country. I don't know. Only 60 countries, or 60 cities, I should say, and not to mention my own city, Toronto, came in at 3rd safest city. Come on, man. I know people personally that are not very safe to your health. But anyways, my point is, I think it's due to the small number of cities that they've actually surveyed. Also, the criteria they use probably puts these cities along the top and bottom list of things. I don't know. Sometimes I find like studies like this aren't really beneficial to anybody. Not to try to defend Manila. I'm sure it can be very dangerous regarding pollution, crime, all that stuff. But just any list like this, I just have my doubts. Like when they say the top best beaches in the world, or the best food cities. I mean, come on, there's a lot of cities in the world, and 60 cities is just not enough, So anyways, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Manila deserves to have the 5th riskiest title? In some quick news, more than 6,000 police officers have been charged administratively, according to the PNP Internal Affairs Service Inspector General. Of the said number, more than 500 have been recommended to be removed from the services. Crazy, 6,000 people getting caught doing some stuff they shouldn't be doing, and 500 bad enough to be asked to resign. Not even asked, but suggested that they resign. Moving on to our next story. Next up, Alice Guo may have left the Philippines using a Chinese passport. It is possible the suspended Bamba Mayor Alice Guo had already left the country using her Chinese passport. This possibility was raised on Wednesday by Senator Sherwin Gatchalian. I quote, based on our information from the Bureau of Immigration, is that she's still here because we checked if Guo Huaping has already left the Philippines, but they haven't found such records so far. The NBI has already confirmed that Guo and Chinese passport holder Guo Huaping are the same person. Gatchalian has claimed last month that Guo was using Chinese Philippines passports from 2008 to 2011. This time, however, the senator expressed belief that the suspended mayor still uses her Chinese passport. I believe her Chinese passport is still there, they said. Maybe she used her passport to leave. But Guo's lawyer, Stephen David, has repeatedly said, yeah, that was like one of my first thoughts. If you are actually doing everything they're accusing you of, why would you stay in the Philippines? Because eventually they're going to find out everything. So, and trust me, just because you check the NBI record and shows that Huaping is still in the country doesn't mean she hasn't left. I'm not going to tell you guys how to do it, but it's not that hard to actually leave a country using a different passport, legit way. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. Going back to Thailand, Thailand just lost a 5-year digital nomad visa. If you guys want to see full breakdown of who's eligible, all the qualification requirements, all that stuff, I made an entire video dedicated to that. So if you guys are curious, I've left a link to that video in the description as well, in case you want to know how to stay in Thailand for 5 years, basically. I don't want to waste your time with that. If you guys are curious about the details, go ahead and check it out, just in case you're interested in traveling to Thailand long term. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the top and most popular comments. Yesterday's main story was about those Chinese people being arrested, and also about the people selling kidneys illegally that were arrested. And I was asking you guys to clarify my feelings and how I felt about the victims being labeled as victims. And the top comment is from Curtis, who says the victim of circumstances, people victimize them because of the circumstance. Yeah, well said. A lot of times we just don't have any other options or choice, and we just don't know better. Plus, People can lie to you, and when people lie to you, and if you're in a bad spot, you kind of forget or don't look at all the red flags. So I can see where this person is coming from with that comment. David Kaiser says, I'm so glad you started this channel. Now I can get my Philippines news in a way that I can understand. Well, thank you so much. Some people say I talk too fast, but that's just the way I speak. Hopefully, if you guys having trouble catching every word I say, you can also play this video at 0.75 speed on the playback option in YouTube, which is kind of cool, or if you want to hear it even faster at 1.5 or 2 speed. And that's it for this video. Let me know which of these stories resonated with you. Anything you want to share, if you take the time to write it, I'll make the time to respond. And if you're new to the channel, found this video informative, enjoyable, entertaining, or just want to show some love, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.